Hey guys. So, I wanted to do something a little bit different today, besides the unboxing, just because, you know, I want you guys to get to know me and more about my life and the things that I, deal with and stuff. So, one thing that I wanted to tell you guys about so you can get to know me a little bit is that I am legally blind. And what that means is that I don't have as good of vision as everybody else. Can I see? Yes, I can see. What, you know, what can I do differently? That's what I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about. So, your first question is probably like, okay, what does it mean to be legally blind? So, how I define being legally blind is having poorer vision than someone else. So, on the spectrum of vision, I'm considered to be 2100. So, for those of you who don't really know what that means, the typical person who sees 20/20, which is perfect vision, what is 20 feet away from you is 20 feet away from you. For myself, 2100 means something that is 20 feet away from me seems as if it is 100 feet away from me. So it's much more difficult for me to see things. A question that, or a comment that I get a lot of the time, and at first, it kind of seems like an okay question or okay thing to say, um, is you don't look blind. Um, I've come to realize that, like, hearing somebody say that, um, it kind of gets me a little bit upset, actually, because what does being blind look like? Are you assuming someone's only blind if they are walking around with a cane or a seeing eye dog? Which actually I do qualify for one, but they're very expensive, so kind of wasn't worth it. Um, so I'm going to tell you my story, and then we'll get more into about being legally blind and the things that I can and cannot do. So, how did I find out that I was legally blind? When I was born and when I was a baby, my mom started to notice some odd things about me. She told me that I would stare off into the light and not focus on things, um, which for her, she thought was different. She thought, like, was I autistic? Did I have Down syndrome? Did I have something wrong with me? So that was a concern of hers when I was a baby. Fast forward to kindergarten. So in kindergarten, we had reading time every single day. My mom gets a phone call from my teacher saying, "Hey, during reading time, your daughter's falling asleep every single day." And my mom thought that was odd. So don't know how it led to me going to the eye doctor. I guess I must have gone to the doctor and then they sent me to the eye doctor. But we went to the eye doctor. And that's when we found out that I had a vision disability. So my eye doctor sent us to a specialist in New York, and they performed a bunch of different tests. I don't remember most of it because, again, I was only like 5 years old. But what I do remember of it was traumatic for me. And I remember they were trying to do this test, which I did end up doing when I'm older, but we'll get to that. They put these contact lenses in your eyes that have a little shelf on it to keep your eyes open because they need to take pictures of your eyes and shine bright lights in your eyes to get the most effective pictures, which when you get a light shined in your eye, you blink. Hence why the shelf is there, so you don't blink. And me being little, I was freaked out. And they tried to hold me down and try to like calm me down, but get the stuff in my eyes at the same time. And it ended up not working, and my mom told them to stop. So that didn't work out too well. All the tests came back inconclusive, and they didn't know what was wrong. So I went back to my eye doctor every single year and was told the same thing. Your eyes aren't getting any better. They're not any worse. Let's try some glasses, see if that helps. The glasses really only helped to kind of sharpen anything, but my eyes being the way that they are, the minute I would move them to look at something else, it would take my eyes a few minutes to adjust. And so if you ever see me not looking at the screen, it's because I can't focus on one spot for that long of a time, just because it's uncomfortable. Or, you know, they told me I was partially cross-eyed and I had like a lazy eye or something. So when I'm talking to some people, they'll turn around and think I'm looking at someone else or something. Again, we'll get to that more in detail later. So fast forward till, up into college. I started getting really, really bad migraines. And it wasn't fun. And it really prevented me from doing anything effectively in college, and I didn't really do well in college because of that. You're probably wondering, why is that? Well, throughout school, I always had to get books and textbooks enlarged for me, which meant having more books, because a regular textbook would have to be split into probably 5 or 6 textbooks because of the size that I needed to see. Meaning I had to have either an extra bag or something with me at school. Or in elementary school, having to have a roller backpack, which, growing up in the years that I did, that wasn't necessarily the cool thing to do. I don't think it ever was cool to have a roller backpack, but we did. And I needed to have that plus a second backpack to carry all of my textbooks, which was not fun. I also had to have a special aid, which, again, usually when you get assigned an aid, you are a special needs student, which I was. But usually you associated special needs as somebody who was mentally challenged, who had autism or Down syndrome or something like that. So that alone labeled me in a negative light, because for a long time, and even still today, having a disability, having special needs is a label that is seen as a negative. And that comes with a lot of bullying. But we'll get to that at a later time. So, through college I struggled, and then finally technology started to catch up, and textbooks were being added to the ebook libraries. So I was able to get them on my Amazon Kindle and then my iPad on the Kindle app. So that made life a lot easier, because I was able to make it as big or as little as I needed to. I could highlight, I could type notes, all in one spot, which was really helpful. And if I needed it to read it to me, I could. So, during college, I got sent to another specialist up in Boston. This specialist really took the time to do every test he knew that he could do to try and diagnose me with something. I was there for probably 5 hours doing test after test after test, tests that I have already done. Now, I am not a needle person, so I probably fainted or almost fainted 3 times during the course of the exam. The worst one being that traumatic test with the contacts with the shelf in it. Because of my traumatic experience, I was not about it. But I got through it, and I did it. It was awful, but I got through it. So at the end of the exam, the doctor sat me down and said, I don't know what else to do. I've done every test. I've done, when I think it's something and then I do that test, it comes out that it's not. I was ruled out for pretty much everything. I don't have a degenerative disease, and that means my vision got to a point and it stopped. It's not going to continue to blindness, which a lot of people do have with diseases. I don't have Stargardt's disease, which is a degenerative disease. All they know is that my rods and my cones and my eyes were damaged. They don't know how. They don't know when. It's only speculation, which I'll get to that. So, long story short, I'm undiagnosable. I don't know what I have. I don't know what can cure me. There isn't anything at this point. All the doctors would always tell me stem cell research is probably my only hope. Which, if anybody pays attention to the news, stem cell research is not doing anything right now under President Trump. So, a lot of people don't really understand stem cell research and how much good it can actually do. But from what I understand, that is the only thing that can really help me. But we'll see what the future holds. So, what does this mean for me in my life? Being legally blind, I cannot legally drive. So I don't have a car, I don't have a license. I have to depend on public transportation or friends and family to get me from point A to point B. When it comes to taking public transportation, it does take a lot longer. If you've ever taken the bus, it takes a lot longer than you driving yourself. So, for example, going from my job to my apartment by car is roughly 15-20 minutes. When I take the bus, it takes an hour. So, a downside, but at least I have the transportation that's there. People ask me all the time, what can you see? Well, it's hard to explain. I always say it's hard to explain because I don't know the difference between regular vision and my vision, because all I've ever known is my vision. I can see color, I can see faces, I can see people. I can read. But I have to have all my text on my phone enlarged. If you try to stand across like a big, building from me, like one room to the next, say in a mall, you see me in the mall, I'm like 6 stores away, you try to wave to me, I'm probably not going to know who you are. If you come up closer, then I'll be like, oh, hey, I had one of my sorority sisters actually tell me in college that she saw me in the main lobby and tried to wave, and I didn't respond. She thought I was mad at her or something. I said, no, honestly, I didn't see you. And it's not me trying to be mean. It's I honestly didn't physically see you. So, yeah. That's roughly what I can say is I can see, I just can't compare it. A lot of people will ask me, how did it happen? And like I said, it's only been speculation, but this is what my mom believes happened. So she was a nurse for 41 years. Most of that time she spent it in the emergency room. She took care of a patient who was sick, and my mom got sick and got pneumonia. She believes that the pneumonia went into my eyes and interfered with the development of my rods and cones. And that's her only speculation of what could have happened. Because other than that, during her pregnancy, she was completely healthy. So that's all I can give you. I will say, like, it's hard having a disability. I know that there are people out there who have it far worse than me, and I really shouldn't complain because I'm grateful that I have some sort of vision. But I will say it has affected me negatively in life from not being able to drive. You know, I'm going to be 29 this year and I don't have my license. I have been turned away from jobs. I have been fired from a job when they found out that I had a disability. A lot of you are probably sitting here like, wait, whoa, that's against the law. I know, it is. The ones that never contacted me back, I let it slide. The job that did fire me, let's just say the place doesn't exist anymore. So there's that. I do love my life, though. I am happy with the life that I've been given. I have been given amazing opportunities, and I have friends and family who love me for who I am. And I'm going to end this video with a bit of positivity, because you know me, I love Disney, and all of our lives as girls, we always try to find that one Disney princess that we find a strong connection with, and I have mine. So everyone always hates on Frozen, but Frozen happens to be one of my favorite movies, and that's because Elsa is my Disney connection, my Disney princess. She's my spirit princess, I guess you can call her. Elsa was born with her power, something people didn't understand, and she grew up trying to hide it, to conceal it, so people wouldn't know about it. As she got older and her power got stronger, she lost control of her life, and everyone found out about it. And then she found people who learned to love her for the power that she had and who she was, and didn't let that affect how they saw her. And then she learned to love her powers and embrace them and learn to be happy. It's the same as me. I was born with a vision disability. I grew up always trying to be normal, tried to not be treated differently. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like everybody else. I didn't want anybody to know that I had a vision disability, that there was something wrong with me. As I got older, I found people who loved me for me and didn't care that I had a disability. It didn't bother them. And then everybody now knew about it, and I learned to accept it and to love who I am with my disability. So that's my connection with Elsa, and that's why I love Frozen so much. So, I mean, hence my sorority name is Elsa. And I am happy. I'm proud of who I am. And I hope that this video has maybe explained a little bit. So if you ever see me looking at a pin super close to my face, now you know why. If you have any questions, any comments that you guys want to share, feel free to do so. I will answer any questions that anybody has, and I hope that it has informed you a little bit, and now you know something about my life, and I hope to do more of these soon. So I will see you guys soon with another unboxing, which I will be doing later tonight. So I'm excited, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.